rates are up on your screen. We've got the Nifty, which is at about 23,660. It's down a little bit. The Nifty Bank is down about 0.25%, 49,600. So, yeah, I mean, that's swiftly down, 0.5 now on the Nifty Bank. So that's a much sharper cut. Yesterday, the Nifty Bank underperformed the Nifty by quite a bit. And I think these would mean newer lows for the Nifty Bank. I mean, breaking below, or not yet, what we saw yesterday at the lowest point. IT index, it's a flattish start. TCS, of course, will be in focus. Advanced decline is slightly positive, but not very much. Nothing really write home about. And I think the Nifty heat map will come up on your screen, gives you a quick snapshot view of the action as far as the Nifty 50 stocks go. Many of them, of course, still opening up, and we'll have that up in a bit. There you go. I think got about 18 odd names which are in the green, and the rest are in the red right now. So 40 points lower, 23,646. Surabhi.
Okay, so let's get to it. Bajaj Auto is reacting very well to the CLSA note that Nimesh just flagged off. Gains about 2.5% on that stock. Make that 3% now, because remember, CLSA is looking at a price target of well above 9,000. I think 9,400 if I'm not mistaken. So that's the winner. Tata Motors with its JLR numbers also looking good this morning, 1% higher. Then you have some buying on Infosys, on Kotak Mahindra Bank. There's M&M, which is up about 0.5%. Basically, autos looking good. M&M, Bajaj Auto, Tata Motors, Eicher Motors, Hero Moto, even Maruti's got a tinge of green. Auto is the strongest part of the market right now, followed by the IT big boys. Infosys about 1% higher, and TCS is approaching numbers with cautious optimism, about 0.3% higher. What's not working for the market? Banks, banks, and banks. SBI is down about 1.5%. HDFC Bank is down 1%. ICICI is also slumping this morning, so not looking good for the big lenders. What else? There's ONGC, L&T. ONGC is finally cooling after 2 very smart days of gains. L&T is down about 0.5%. And there's ITC losing about 0.5% as well. So those are the early trends coming through. The big sort of trade this morning is on autos. Most of the stocks on the upside, and the Nifty is now down 56 points.
Well, the two stocks that I'm looking at is SRF as well as Navin Fluorine. There's been a big spike up in refrigerant gases because significant, there's a US distributor out there who's raised alarms over R32 and R125. That could be a bit of a supply constraint. And because of that, both these two stocks are now up between 9 to around 10%. We'll try to get you further details, but for the time being, that could add to their profitability. We'll have to find out how much exactly. That's clearly the reason why both these two stocks are now up close to around 10% or thereabouts. So big move is what we're seeing on both these two names. Let's pull up Hindalco. The stock had started off in the red. There is a likelihood that the stock could see some kind of bottom fishing. So, that one should come up for you on the screen. Hindalco, as we mentioned earlier today, the news is negative. The street will look ahead because of the correction that we have seen and the promise they're given that Q4 will, look as good as Q2. The other couple of stocks that we're looking at, Spandana Spurti has cooled off a little bit. We had Transformer and Rectifiers, one of the big outperformers in the last few years. Well, that one as well has come in for profit taking and came out with its set of numbers. The Nifty is now down close to around 60 points or thereabouts, but from the broader markets, plenty of stocks moving around. IGL bounces back up 2.5%. UPL as well up close to around 1.5%. And Aarti Industries is the other one that's up close to around 2.5%. Surabhi.
Okay, Nigel, well spotted on SRF and Navin Fluorine. Look at these stocks flying away. SRF is 10% higher. And Navin, I saw, also make that 10% of a move on, Navin Fluorine. Manappuram, the relief reaction continues, almost 5% up on that one.
Well, 60 points down on the Nifty, 23,630 is where we are at. And we are, down, and at least on the index level, we are down. By the way, broader market breadth is positive, not by much, by about 200 stocks more on the gaining side as compared to what is down. Maybe just a few other names here before we go any further. Nimesh spotted Bajaj with that sort of, I think it was CLSA, I think, 2% higher. So 87 on Bajaj Auto. Phoenix Limited, the mall operator, 3.5% there. There is Zydus Life, which is up about 3% or so, 1,012. Transrail, which is a recent listing, is up 5%. And, only mentioning these names because they've also got large volumes right now. Anand Rathi is up about 4% or so. Saregama is coming up with a 5.5% gain. So 578 on Saregama, looking good. Shakti Pumps now closing in on 1,400 rupees. It's up 30% in 2025. I mean, so it's just one of those names which has done very well. Car Trade is up about 3.5%. Car Trade, I think, was a mover yesterday as well. Tata Chemicals is up about 2%. Deepak Nitrite is up about 2.5%. Aarti Industries. So it's not just, I mean, SRF and Naveen are there, but there are, maybe it's sparking a bit of an interest in some of the other names as well. Borosil Renewables is up 5%. It's one of the stocks we highlighted as part of our stock list early on in the morning. Spandana Spurti had a big pop yesterday, was up 35% in 2 days. It's taking a bit of a knock. It's down 5.5% on volumes, large volumes. And Credit Access ended up 12% yesterday. It's down 3%. So there are some small reversals. We just had that MFI discussion just a little while back. The other one on the downside is Kalyan Jewellers, which saw a big 8-9% knock. It's down, it's starting down, not big, but 1.5 lower. And, you know, you had all these EMS companies, Dixon and Keynes, and, you know, they were all down yesterday. Keynes is starting. I can spot only Keynes with volumes, which is down about 1.5%. Vari Energies and Premier Energy. These are the other two names which are in the renewable energy space, solar space, which are starting about 2.5% lower at this point in
Just
time.
one stock, Prashant, I wanted to highlight. SBI, the stock is trading at around 765.
Yeah.
The day's low is around 726. You know, so there appears there was... there appears that, I don't know whether it's an erroneous trade or there is an intended trade out there. But in the first minute itself, there are a couple of trades that took place in that vicinity of around 726 rupees or so. Keep an eye on that.
That looks like a swoon. It looks like a, what we call a fat finger or whatever. But we'll have to sort of confirm that. But yeah, the low is about 726.
By the way, the city gas distribution players are a little excited this morning. Yeah. IGL, MGL and Gujarat Gas, all of them are up. I thought maybe it's a IGL specific move because we know this Maharashtra gas IPO, the JV between BPCL, GAIL and IGL, maybe because of that. But no, the others are also excited in tandem. So city gas distribution play is doing quite okay this morning.
Yeah, Kotak Bank is another one which is up about 2% or so. You know, again, big underperformer last couple of years and some sort of conversation that maybe it's one of the stocks to watch out for, at least tactically speaking, if not for the slightly longer term.